We're recording now, and I'll probably edit that part out. But here's the part where I do the fancy schmancy intro. So here we go. Welcome to the Secret Sauce Channel. I'm Kevin Briggs. We're going to start that over, because hi. That's really too enthusiastic.
Gotcha. I do the same. I do the same.
Hi, welcome to the Secret Sauce Channel. I'm Kevin Briggs. I'm a longtime healthcare and life sciences business development leader for technology companies like IBM, HCL, Atos. But I'm also the co-founder and CEO of Texas de Peru. Now, for almost the last decade and a half, Texas de Peru has led teams of U.S. surgeons to deliver surgical care to the underserved in Peru, in a little clinic near Machu Picchu. We try to help a lot of people, change a lot of lives, and try to have a lot of fun doing it. Now, I also speak on leadership lessons learned from Texas de Peru and occasionally my business career. So a little secret about Texas de Peru. To make it go, it takes participation not only of doctors, nurses, and other clinical volunteers, but it also takes the efforts of non-clinical volunteers and business leaders. Personally, I love mixing up and mashing all my business and personal pursuits. So this is one of those opportunities to do that. And a lot of cool results come from that. So in that spirit, this is Secret Sauce, where we'll discuss a little bit of life, a little bit of business and best practices and how to rise above, lead through influence and build trust, or if you will, secret sauce. So today we have a special guest, a very accomplished professional and friend of mine, Bart. Is it cool? Kornhorst.
Start again.
I'm leaving that part in. But anyway, Bart, thank you so much for doing this with me. Thanks for joining me and joining this conversation. Can you tell everybody who doesn't know you just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, thanks for inviting me here today. That's going to be a lot of fun. I have been running a training and people development company for the last 9 years, and just recently launched business operations and optimization execution support company for the middle market. Now, what does that all mean? Is that most companies are just stressed out and reacting, so we help them prioritize. Most companies have operational low-hanging fruit that doesn't get executed on, and we help them find that and execute that low-hanging fruit. So, to take away distractions. And thirdly, is we help the people develop, the managers especially, to become more influential and more trusted in the organization. Personally, I'm been in Dallas for about 26 years. And moved here from the Netherlands, was in California before that, but I am originally a Dutch citizen and an American now.
Wonderful. So we were talking a little bit earlier, and so I think, I know you're an avid cook. One of the things you were talking about is you do a fair amount of adventure travel. Can you share a little bit of some of the stories we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, every chance I get, I'll do that. One is just most recently, I had the pleasure of visiting my son who lives in Utah. And he took me out fishing. We trekked out into the mountains, and I think I shared with you that we survived off the fish that we caught, and I was the only one that caught fish, and it was this big.
Of course it was.
Trust, right? No, so we had some packs with us and stuff. It was really a lot of fun, and I've been trying to do that my whole life. Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of fun. We try to do a little bit of. There's an adventure travel aspect to what we do down in Peru.
Yes.
A lot of the people that on our teams, they hike the Inca Trail when they go to Machu Picchu and stuff like that. But I'm too busy.
Yeah. Well, you and I have talked about me coming out with you sometime, and that's definitely something that's so inspiring.
I would absolutely love to have you come down. And trust me, it's one way or the other, it'll change you. It's a pretty special experience. So,
I think good travel like that, not to diverge too far, but from personal experiences, starting at a young age of hitchhiking around Southeast Asia before, a lot of development there, and traveling into all over the place and living overseas and things like that. It's given me a lot of opportunity to transform myself.
I didn't know you hitchhiked in Southeast Asia. That's
Oh,
quite an adventure.
that was when I was a lot younger, of course, but,
Oh
yeah, it was
yeah.
really, really amazing, amazing. Yeah,
Wow.
it changed me, it changed me. So to your point,
Yeah. How
yeah,
so?
it's changed me, well, because I able to that's a great question, by the way. I'll do my best to answer it. But, you know, you're living people talk about that now. I came from a highly developed place, and
Yeah.
we all think of that area, Southeast Asia, as developed now, but it wasn't. And
Not
just
back in the
the
day. No.
yeah, the ability to disconnect from the wildness of what we're living and to, you know, center ourselves, I think is a really powerful thing that I've taken with me, that I've tried to use throughout my life from that trip. Yeah. I was,
When
22.
oh wow. That's
Yeah.
there. Well, you said a mouthful there. I mean, being able to disconnect and get away from the machines, get away from the devices. I when I travel, I pretend that the internet's down.
Mhm.
I try to,
Yeah.
but any
I
rate,
too
it it's just so good when you can do that.
I too and try and fail often because that's, you know, you get hooked on that stuff. I don't wanna sound like, you know, I'm this, person that's consistently great at that, but it's something that it centers me. It's really great. So, you know, to everybody,
Yeah,
I say, find what, you know, you've done that you can focus on and use to strengthen yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let me shift gears for just a little bit. And I think I shared with you earlier, and I'll share with everybody else that kind of the genesis of this podcast is my sons were becoming young professionals,
Mm,
and I wanted to share some tips and advice from the old man, so to speak. And some of it's good. I've got a few good nuggets, but I realize I have networks of hundreds of people that really could probably contribute something really cool. And so that's kind of the point of this is to drill in and get one or two best practices or tidbits or insights that we might be able to share with others. So let me ask you this. Do you have a thought or a tip or a business practice that you always return to that might be appropriate to share, not necessarily with young people, but anybody?
you know, I love how the way you positioned that because I too have 2 young sons and, you know, they're smarter than me and they know what
Mine
they
too.
want. Right? Can't tell them what they want. But what they don't have are some of the knocks and bruises that I've had, and things like that. So I can see things they don't see. So
Yeah.
I think probably the thing that I would say from that above all is 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 sharpen your listening skills. And that's really about taking something in and then really thinking about, you know, where am I right? Where am I wrong? I love being shown that I'm wrong in something because it means I've learned something.
Uh huh.
And that to me is so key, I think, is sharpen your listening skills because that social media we were talking about, you know, got these flapper valves called our ears, right? And our brain has a flapper valve in it, and it just shuts us down from really listening these days.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with you. It's high on my list.
Mm,
Being able to listen, use your ears and the mouth and the proportion that God gave you. Uh, it's a lost art for some. Uh, Sometimes for me, I talk too much, like right now.
well,
But
may I add something like me too, so I can talk too much. But, you know, from the listening skills perspective, that is something that I learned also to reinforce during my leadership training. And, you know,
uh
from the CEO on down, we all need to do that. It's not just a young person thing, but it's so empowering for young people.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and to be intentional and really hone in on what you're hearing and listen for understanding
Yeah.
as opposed to listening to for a transcript, if you will. So let me ask you one other question. Shifting gears just a little bit. Do you have any advice or career and life advice that you would offer a young person just starting out that you might have told yourself when you were younger? I mean, you've had the almost perfect life and you've had a lot of adventures, but is there something you might, you know, tell yourself if your younger self if you could?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, it would have been be more open and take more risks.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I think that's become even more important now because of the disorganized way, we're changing everything fast around us.
Yeah.
So you constantly need to be hunting for opportunity. And
Yeah.
that's kind of hard to see. Again, ties in with listening, right? Listen, and then you'll see better what the opportunities are.
Yeah. Well, any rate, well, Bart, thank you so much for spending a couple minutes with me, uh, talking about this. Um,
Okay, thanks,
uh,
Kevin. Goodbye.
no, no, no,
I,
not
I,
yet,
I
not
just,
yet.
I know. I'm just joking.
No, but no, seriously, seriously, I really appreciate you spending time with us. The insights that you bring to the table are awesome. I learn something every time I have a conversation with you. So I'm really glad that you're helping me do this and share some of that, share some of the good stuff with other folks as well. So for everybody else, I'd like to say thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe below, um, if you can, to this feed. If you're interested in my book, and I need to order fresh copies, all this is a printout. But if you're interested in my book, We Own a Llama Suit and You Can Too, please follow the link on the website. If you're interested in having me speak at an event, again, go to the website. If you know somebody who would be a great guest to have or somebody great to talk to, let me know. Drop a line in the comments below. And most importantly, if you want to help make a difference in thousands of lives, volunteer, help support Texas Day Peru. All those things basically come to this QR code there, and Texas Day Peru is where that's at. Again, thank you again, Bart. Big thank you to you. And what was your name again? Your last
Yeah.
name? I can't remember. At any rate, Bart, thanks so much for doing this. And I really appreciate you doing this for me.
Oh, it's my pleasure.